What's going on, guys? It's Crossover MMA coming to you with the first YouTube video. So let's get right into it. So this Saturday on July 27th, we have UFC 304 going down in Manchester, England. And I'm just going to go through the main card. Opening up the main card, we got Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze. Coming into this fight, Arnold Allen is the minus 265 favorite, and Giga's the plus 215 underdog. And coming into this, we'll look at Arnold Allen. I mean, his biggest thing coming into this fight is going to be his footwork, his boxing, his cardio, his pace, his wrestling. Like, all these things are really where I think for Arnold Allen to be successful, these are the things that are going to play a major role in the fight. Because, I mean, his footwork, he's never off balance. He's in and out of range. He will stay in the pocket. I also think Arnold Allen keeping the fight in boxing range is going to be huge in this fight, because I think at boxing range, he's going to have an advantage over Giga. And then also he's got solid wrestling, very good volume, keeps up the pace for 5 rounds, can go 5 rounds, even though this is a 3-round fight. So you know his cardio is gonna be there. We don't have to worry about that. And then on the other side, when we look at Giga, the name of the game with Giga is kicks. All levels, low leg kicks. The body kicks are probably his big weapon. And then also head kicks as well. He switches stances. He fights southpaw, orthodox, and you just got to be ready for all the different kicks. I think in Giga, he showed in the Calvin Kattar fight that if you can get inside of that kicking range with Giga, you can kind of neutralize him a little bit. And Calvin Kattar definitely did that and beat him up, and I think he put the blueprint out there. And I think that's going to be the same blueprint that Arnold Allen is going to try to implement. However, if Giga's able to keep it at range, you never know. He couldn't always land one of those kicks, but should be a great fight. Moving up the card, we got Muhammed Mokaev against Manul. Kape. Coming in, Muhammed Mokaev is the minus 122 favorite. His advantage in this fight is very clear. It's going to be the wrestling. Muhammed Mokaev that's been the name of his game since he's entered the UFC. He's a very young guy. I think he's like 23 years old. He's also got very good submissions. And also he's undefeated. And, you know, guys coming in with that, they have that mindset of, I'm going to figure out a way to get this done. I'm going to get this win. And even in some of Muhammad Mokaev's fights, like, he's gotten late submissions in fights that maybe he was losing in. Against, I think it was Tim Elliott. I think that's the one that I'm thinking about. But he's had a couple fights where he's had to dig deep and get it done, and he's found a way. So shout out to him, nothing but respect. Then moving over to Manul Kape, he's coming in as a plus 102 underdog. Very dynamic striker. You know, straight left hand down the pipe, flying knees, kicks, moves, good footwork. Manul Kape's going to want to keep this fight on the feet. And I think if he does, he's definitely going to have an advantage on the feet. And, you know, this matchup's just classic striker versus grappler. And I think what's going to come in handy for Manul Kape is his great takedown defense. Very good takedown defense. And I mean, if he keep this fight on the feet, Manul Kape can definitely get the job done. And then on top of it, he's a flyweight that is also a finisher. He's got an 84% finish rate. Should be a good fight, and it's gonna tell us a lot about Muhammed Mokaev and Manul Kape. Really, to me, this fight has that feeling of Khamzat Chimaev against Gilbert Burns. To me, in a manner of speaking. I mean, I know they're flyweights compared to welterweights in that fight, but to me, I look at it as like the young, undefeated wrestler, got his own little pocket of fans that believe in him, because he was coming in saying that he wanted to be the youngest champion ever in the UFC, and he's still undefeated. So, I mean, the winner of this fight is going to be in prime position to get a title shot. Moving up the card, we got Bobby King Green against Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett comes in as a plus 114 underdog, comes in on a 7-fight win streak. You know, Paddy's going to be fighting at home, so all the crowd is going to be so crazy for Paddy. I mean, we already know this coming in. And then for Paddy, his biggest thing is he's got to implement the grappling. Has to. That's his method of victory. He's got to implement the grappling. Paddy's striking, unless his striking's improved, up until now it's been winging punches, lots of hooks, just come charging in, throwing these hooks. And with a guy like Bobby Green, I don't think that's a good recipe. Then Bobby Green comes in as the minus 130 favorite. I think Bobby's going to have a speed advantage on the feet. Very good boxer. Very good defense as well. I know he has his hands down. The punches come from unusual angles. He shoulder rolls. He gets in and out of range. Can take a shot as well. The chin is probably lost a few notches after the Jalen Turner fight, which I also was at, by the way, and that was a brutal stoppage, by the way. But yeah, this fight's gonna come down to if Bobby can keep it on the feet. I think he really can like piece up Paddy on the feet, and Paddy's just gonna have to find a way to implement that grappling if he wants to win. Moving right along, we got Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes 2 in the co-main event. Aspinall is defending his heavyweight interim title. Aspinall comes in as a minus 380 favorite, which was high when I saw it. I think this is a very good matchup. I think it's a very tough matchup for both guys. Tom Aspinall, I mean, where can we start? I mean, it's dynamic heavyweight, skills everywhere. It's a very complete fighter. To be as big as he is, 6'4", 6'5", 250, 260, somewhere in there. Very good speed, very good footwork. Also heavyweight, got power, very good grappling, submitted Alexander Volkov in the first round. So, I mean, Tom Aspinall is complete. You know, the UK, he is the next evolution at heavyweight. And this fight is gonna be huge for him at home. Then looking over the other side, we got Curtis Razor Blaydes coming in as a plus 300 underdog. The name of the game for Blaydes is implement wrestling. He's not really much of a submission threat. He more so just wants to get the takedown, then get some ground and pound, beat you up, wear you down, and just grind you out, really. You know, he's a heavyweight, so of course he's got power in his hands. It's the heavyweight division. And something else I think is really going to help out Curtis Blaydes is his experience being in there with Francis Ngannou, even though we know how that ended. But I think him being in there with those big punchers and big fights is going to really help him get prepared for this fight. And I definitely don't think he is a plus 300. I definitely think he should be the underdog. Plus 300 is a bit high for my taste, but I think this is going to be a very good fight. I mean, the first fight was, I think, like 15, 20 seconds, so it didn't really tell us anything, if anything at all. So I'm curious to see how Aspinall comes back and, you know, like this is the same guy he was in there when he injured his knee. So I'm curious to see, you know, if there's any hesitation with that at all, with him throwing kicks, anything like that. So should be interesting for sure. And then we got the main event of the evening, Leon Rocky Edwards against Belal Muhammed 2. Leon's coming in as a minus 218 favorite. I'm actually surprised he's not a bigger favorite than Aspinall is, in my opinion. Leon Edwards, what can I say, technical striker, very improved wrestling and takedown defense upon entering the UFC. The stance switches, fights at range very well, crisp boxing, really good kicks as well. I mean, this guy's just a complete fighter, very complete. And I think the biggest hiccup with Leon before Leon today was the confidence and just where his head was at. And I think we all could see it from UFC 278 to UFC 284, I think, when the second Kamaru Usman fight to the third Kamaru Usman fight. Leon looked like a different guy. Like, his confidence was through the roof. He fought like a champion. You could see the confidence coming out of him, and he fought like it. And I think him fighting like that made him a whole different fighter, in my opinion. Then I saw him at UFC 296 against Colby Covington, and he just controlled the entire fight. And I think Leon Edwards is trying to go on a run at welterweight, but he's got to go through some guys. And with that being, and even before I get to him, Leon's on a 13-fight unbeaten streak. So, I mean, this guy hasn't been beaten since his first fight with Kamaru Usman. So the guy's fighting with a lot of confidence. Going to have the crowd behind him. You know, it's his second title fight in the UK. So Leon is, and then I saw a picture of him, and he's shredded right now. So Leon's going to be ready to fight. Then on the other side, we got Belal Muhammed coming in as a plus 180 underdog. And the name of the game for Belal is going to be pace, toughness, grit, determination. And he's going to have to cut the distance. He's going to have to find a way to make this a dirty fight. If this fight is all pretty and clean, Leon wins it hands down easily. Belal's just going to have to make this an ugly fight, get in the clinch, back Leon up, and he's going to have to walk through a little bit of fire to get there. I mean, that's just the reality of it, because Leon Edwards fights so good at range. And then on top of it, Belal Muhammad's coming in on a 10-fight win streak himself. Well, not win streak, but unbeaten streak himself. So, you know, in the first fight, we didn't really get much answered. They only got a round and some change in. Leon won the first round, but this is a 5-round fight, and I think 5 rounds is good for Belal Muhammad's style, because he wants to wear you down over time. But really, it's going to come down to who controls the distance and the range at this fight. If they stay at range and Leon Edwards is in full control, Leon Edwards will just go tit for tat, keep you at range, keep you on the end of the leg kicks, the teeps, the jabs, and it'll be a long night for you. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great night of fights. And comment, subscribe, and be the first subscriber. I'm looking forward to starting, you know, the YouTube, and I'm gonna pump out some more content, and we're just gonna go from there.